Hey traders, it's Ryan from leprivatebanker.com. Just going to do a quick recap for what happened today in crude oil and go from there. So what I was looking at off of the open was a potential sort of gap fill, rotational mean reversion sort of type of day, and I mean, looking at it a little bit in hindsight, I mean, we did see just a clear breakaway from last week's value with and an imbalance on the card. So maybe this wasn't the best way to approach this today. But nevertheless, that's what I looked at off the open. So off of the open, we opened right into the overnight low. I mean, we were hanging around the overnight low. We were opened quite far away from that previous sort of 3-day balance, and I mean last week we see that one time frame taken out, and I did see some potential for a small balance to form here before we broke down further, but yet behold, overnight we just gapped down through that 2014 low, and that was pretty much it. And like I said, off the open, I just I hit the offer, got a very good fill off the open. I mean, it's just a go no go trade. I mean, we either find initiative buyer, and which it did look like off the open, and that normally sets a tone for the day. And we came back into value, and we just couldn't find any buyers. I mean, if I show you the what I was looking at here, I mean, I got long here, and then I got fully scaled back into value, and we see this sort of two-way trade balance come in. And the market came down, tagged that 1.5 standard deviation again, and just added back to full size position. Obviously stops below this overnight low, and yet behold, we found buyers back in, and it really did look like we were going to potentially at least try test Vwap. And when obviously I was looking for the destination trade and a partial gap fill, but this didn't happen obviously. And as value caught up with price, and we ended up just breaking down here, and so I eventually got out of my long once we broke the one time frame. I mean, we had one time frame in 3 periods, so this is what we were looking at, and we had a poor high on the day. So I mean, what I was looking for, like I said, is further responsive buying and a potential gap fill rotational sort of day, and this just didn't happen. And we ended up finding breaking that one time frame in. So anybody who was long ended up getting liquidated here, and we ended up seeing a selling imbalance on the day. Outside of the initial balance. I mean, this is a typical sort of gap scenario setup as we've got on the education, and I'm not going to go into it in detail, but it did what we looked for, played quite late. But I mean, what I ended up doing was getting short off of a pullback here to which was at the time RTH Vwap, and it was also at the edge of developing value on the day. So I mean, once that imbalance had been shown, then I just wanted to trade with the breakout and the breakout on the higher time frame sort of context. And so I got short, managed to get fully scaled here, and was just basically hanging on to see if we could break down further. And we had this $50 a barrel psychological big round number. I mean, I highlighted this morning, and so we started to one time frame down for 1, 2, 3, 4 periods, and then on this period here, on the blast down to the $50 a barrel, on time change we see this sort of pull back up, and then on the next bar we opened and we ended up breaking the one time frame. And so I exit my position here, and I ended up buying this low on the RTH developing value low, with stops below, looking for a mean reversion, and this ended up playing out quite nice into the close. So we had that. So I got long from this sort of 50-15 area, and I took the market all the way back up to Globex Vwap and the halfway back on the initial balance, which was part of that setup short. But and that was pretty much me for the day. I mean, I wasn't going to just reverse my position and take the short into the close off of this area. So I mean, I was just quite happy with. I mean, I managed to sort of capture over the day's range, but I mean, it would have been nice to just. I mean, it's nice for things to work out. I don't normally like to take sort of free trades on a day. I like to get in my position and just sort of hold it for target fills. But I mean, today, like I said, it was just quite a tough day. I mean, off the open, maybe I just read things a little bit incorrectly, and I ended up having to sort of liquidate my position and then establish a short. And after I established a short, I mean, I've missed half of that initial range, and we just see no follow through. And again, it's the rebalance two-way trade come back into the market. And here it's just a classic example of all of the sort of retail weak hand sort of shorts getting short here, ends up getting liquidated into this spike here, and then the liquidation from their stops, obviously all of the longer time frame smart money is in there and absorbing all of the long limits, buy stops, which obviously a buy stop is going to be a buy limit. So as soon as the market hits them buy limits, obviously the market gets pushed higher into institutional sort of selling orders, which is what looked like happened here. And then obviously into the K period, we just see high time frame participants and just day time frame participants just selling the developing value on the day in this balanced sort of range. I mean, we almost had like a double balance sort of day today, and on that K spike, we actually tagged that sort of fair price of that upper balance, and like I said, we see the aggressive selling into the close. I mean, we did close the market out very quite balanced. I mean, value was established in the middle of the profile, and the point of control was for the TPO point of control was bang in the middle of the profile. So, I mean, heading into tomorrow, I mean, obviously if we open an inside day, then we just look to trade the extremes with mean reversions, and obviously with the high time frame context now being to the sell side, if we continue to sort of hold this gap, then you want to be looking for sell side imbalances, and but regardless, I mean, if we open gap up or gap down, then it might be best to trade with that breakout of this balanced day. So I mean, we did put in we did sort of close below. We actually closed just above that $50 a barrel, so we closed at 50 and 3 cents. So it's quite interesting that we held that area. So just obviously $50 a barrel is a big psychological number. So I mean, $100 a barrel is a huge psychological number, and yet again, like 50 is halfway between 100 and 0. So definitely an area to continue to monitor here. I mean, we did the market reports and we released them the other night, and as you said, the path of least resistance is still to the downside, and the market does look like we are still in price exploration mode to the sell side, trying to find sort of a longer time frame buyer. I mean, the dollar index is continuing to push higher, and we actually gapped up today and heading towards them 2004-2005 highs, which is obviously going to add pressure to the repricing of crude oil to the sell side, and again, we're just seeing value migration down. I mean, this week we've already opened up. This week we've seen quite a big volume come in today, and we've clearly sort of established lower value away from that previous value. So it's still seeing value migration to the sell side. We're still seeing one time frame on the weekly and the monthly, and so just need to monitor all this carefully, and continue to trade off that market generated information. I mean, again, on the monthly, we're seeing lower value come into the market. I mean, there's a very big cluster of volume down here. I mean, we've got no excess. So, I mean, the likeliness of this bottom holding now is quite low. I mean, we're going to see probably further price expiration. We have no excess, no buy and tail, and we've got fair prices at this $50.30 at the moment. So just some things to monitor here. I mean, currently the crack spread, which is for WTI, is sitting at about $10. So this also needs to be monitored, and yeah, we'll just play it day by day. But at the moment, like I said, the path of least resistance is down. We're still seeing price expiration to the downside, and we're clearly. There's one thing to know, which I just obviously wrong workspace. Bear with me. Is on this on today's push down. If I can find it, here we go. So we had this upper balance, and then we had this next lower balance, and there was potential, I thought, for some more balance to come in here, but the market just had a different thought process, and obviously as the market report showed that we released, like I said, the path of least resistance is still to the downside, and there is still some very bearish context in the market. And if we look at the volume today, I mean, we broke out of this. Since we broke out this upper big balance area, I mean, volume's been increasing. So volume's been increasing on the breakout, which is telling us that there is an open interest in selling. There is still interest in selling down here. It's attracting activity, and obviously on this big breakout here, we've seen a large increase in volume. I mean, we saw 250,000 contracts traded on this day. On the breakout here, we've seen 350,000 contracts traded. So what's that telling us? It's attracting more sellers. It's the advertised price is a drawed attention here, and we're seeing sellers coming into the market here. So again, that's just something to be aware of. I mean, it's quite a powerful move today, and we closed towards the end of the candle with no excess and on increasing volume. So that's telling me that the macro time frame selling at auction is still very strong here. So just have to see how we continue to trade here. I mean, the height. One thing else I kind of missed off the open today. I mean, I kind of come in and I was looking at this previous value here, and the 5 exponential moving average is all up here. So I was thinking, so we've got just bear with me 2 seconds. The last perception of price was all the way back up here, and we had that sort of micro sort of distribution here, and then we had that 2-day balance, and that was the last perception of price. That was agreed prices. Obviously, we did break away from agreed prices, but my first thing I was looking at was to see if we could see reverses back to that previous price, because this was the market's last taste and sample of value. So for this instance, I was anticipating with the way that we opened and that responsive buyer off of the open and the one time frame, and that we could see a pullback to them established prices. But obviously, once the market got capped and at this sort of 51.20s, then obviously the only way that the market could go was down with continued price exploration. But so just again, that's what I was looking at. I mean, like I said, we just opened so far away from value that was the latest sample. So that is what I was sort of looking at on off the open this morning. And again, like I said, the fact that the 5 exponential moving average is so far away. But if we do look at the 5 exponential average on the Globex session, we opened on top of it. I mean, it probably was a little bit higher, and we found responsive sellers off the open. So normally in this sort of scenario where we open on top of it, the whole day is sort of dominated in that sort of theme. And that's something I missed off the open today. I just didn't see that market generated information, and if I had, then I probably would have just tried to trade with the breakout and look for confidence to sell with in the morning, and not try to fade that with some buy in there. But either way, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can't get this right every time, and I mean, I had a pretty good day regardless. It just wasn't perfect as I would have liked to have been. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that for the minute. Hope you had a great day, and hope you didn't get caught up in this sort of chop rotation we saw here. And take care, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Goodbye.